So in this video, I'll be showing you the exact system you need to scale your attention, especially if you have a following that's in 2,000, 3,000 or even more, and you post consistently, get views, get likes, and your bank account doesn't reflect any of it. I need you to watch this whole thing because your content isn't the problem and it isn't you. You have the attention, but you just don't have the system. So let me show you exactly what I mean. So here's what almost everyone does. You post content, you get views and likes, and the trail goes cold. Why? Because there's no next step. Nothing captures that attention and turns it into a conversion. So the viewer never actually gets to pay you. So all this attention just vanishes in thin air, and you're left with no clients, no revenue, and you're wondering what you're doing wrong. But 95% of brands die here because they have no system to convert that attention into paying clients. So this is the worst place to be at, because think of it like this. There are brands out there which collectively get over thousands of views, 20,000, 30,000, but then they don't convert well, they don't get clients from that. But there are other brands out there that get 500 views, 1,000 views only, and that's their exact target audience. So we shall say that ahead in positioning, whereby you need to attract your exact target audience, people who are interested in buying from you, not anyone just scroll. And remember, the goal is not any type of views. The goal is getting views that are actually interested in what you're offering. So if posting isn't the answer, and it isn't, so what actually is the answer? So it all comes down to these three parts. Get these three right and in order, and attention will stop leaking and start paying. Miss even one and you'll keep stuck where you are. So let's head straight into section 2. So let's head to the first sector, positioning. So this is generally who you are and who you serve, stated so clearly that the right buyer feels it instantly. So think of it like this. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you're dressed like a chef. Move out, go to a restaurant and just stand there, dressed like a chef. So trust me, after a few minutes, someone is going to call you to place their order. Why? Because you've positioned yourself in that structure. So that's the power of positioning. Let me take you through. Most people are invisible because they are vague. When your positioning is sharp enough, the right buyer reads one line and immediately thinks that is me. So it clicks in their mind and they immediately feel like they need what you're offering. So you must position yourself in the sharpest way to make your ideal client immediately think that you're the obvious choice, and they immediately choose you over everyone, knowing that you're the right person who is going to solve their exact problem, as you clearly state in your content. So positioning is the foundation here. Nothing actually works without it. So let's move to the second part, content architecture. So every post out there should be engineered to move a stranger one step closer to buying. And this is where most people follow from. So listen closely. So there are 3 levels to the content architecture. The first level is the top of the funnel. The only job of this top of the funnel content is to stop the scroll. No selling, that's why it's 60%. It must stop the scroll and tell the people what you have. The second part of this is the mid of the funnel. This is actually 30% because this content is seen mostly by people who have actually seen you already, and they realize they have the problem but they need the solution. So most of this content should be educative. This is where you teach and show how you think, like I'm doing right now. This is mid of the funnel content. And this is the last one, bottom of the funnel. This is where you make the offer and tell them exactly what to do next, because you have filtered them throughout your content funnel. You filtered them from the top. You gathered them at the top of the funnel. In the middle of the funnel, you filtered out people who actually need you and they need the solution you have for them. Then at the bottom, that's where you sell them. That's where you start putting in the CTAs and all that, so that you can sell to them the service now. Most people only ever post one of these. They either only chase views or only sell. So the magic is running all 3 in this ratio. And once you run all 3 in this ratio, you'll stop chasing views, or you'll stop selling to avoid selling to people who do not actually know what you're doing exactly. So once you master these three and follow them in your content, structure them around your content, then you're building a predictable system of getting clients. So let's go to part 3, the acquisition system. This is the repeatable path that turns attention into booked calls on autopilot. So you don't need to start from zero every single day. So when positioning, content, and acquisition connect, you stop hoping that content works and start knowing it will, because it will. So you followed the entire system perfectly well. Then why not land inbound consistent clients monthly? And that's why it takes us to the result. So when all three are in place, now your content has a system behind it. The right buyers see it and raise their hands. So calls get booked not by luck but predictably, and that turns into a predictable revenue. Same content, same effort, completely different outcome. Because now there is a machine underneath it instead of hope. And if you've got the attention but you know the system isn't there, this entire system, that's the exact thing I build: positioning, content, and an acquisition system installed in for your brand. So if you want me to map out where your brand is leaking attention, just DM me system and I'll take a look at what you've got and show you the gap. And if you need this entire document completely for yourself, I'm not selling it, I'm giving it out, just comment I want it and I'll send it over to you. So if you've watched this video to the end, I hope you're ready to take action and use this entire system into your brand right now so that you can see a great change and you'll see its impact. So subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'm going to be shooting out more content, more videos explaining what you should do. Just subscribe. Waiting to see you soon in the next videos.